Hey, sports fans. Ben's Hang-Ups here. Well, in the last video, which I posted this last Monday, I mentioned that I had a video card go corrupt on me and I lost a lot of footage. Well, I managed to get that back. Yeah, it was my screw up. But I got it back and decided I'd go part 2. And so some of it's going to be a little redundant, but a lot of that footage now I've saved and put in a short video, which I'm going to post today. And we'll take a look at the rest of Savannah. So bear with me on this. Hopefully this isn't going to happen again. We're doing the best we can here. Ben's Hang-Ups. And we'll see you down the road. Now this park runs alongside a main strip that runs through Savannah and the waterfront. So it runs for several blocks. Now down along the waterfront, this is where we got our tickets for our trolley ride for the day, our jump on and jump off trolley.
Cindy, and welcome to Savannah, okay? And that was stop 11. Now over here on the left, that's Hutchinson Island. Hutchinson Island actually sits down in the middle of the Savannah River, but it's Georgia. It's not South Carolina. That big white building is our trade center, our convention center, and the brown building is the Westin Hotel. But as far back as you can see now, the last tree line that you can see over there, that's the great state of South Carolina. That's Hardyville, South Carolina. I would say 75% of our guests, they don't know that they're that close to another state about the sea. So he told Florence to wave at every ship that come by where he her. She waved morning, noon, and night by 44 years. Yeah, they said she died of a broken heart and
Tired arms.
she turned right on red. Bless her heart, she'll be all right.
This is that stop that the trolley makes. It's mandatory to get off the trolley. And this is a museum, railroad museum. And it's a very, very small museum. Now, if you have your trolley pass, it's free to get in here. So we spent a few minutes here and then went back and got on another trolley. So I think that trolley stop there that's mandatory to get off is so the drivers get a break. And this bench is the original Forrest Gump bench from the movie. Now, we didn't spend a lot of time here. Quick restroom stop. Walked through the museum real fast. And went back and got on another trolley. Finished our ride. As I said earlier in the other video, we recommend you take the trolley. First time you take it all the way through. Which means you get off at this stop, get back on, and go back to where you started. Then you can jump on, jump off after that. This is I believe it was a drugstore or something at one time, but now it's waiting to get in here to the Davenport House. And this is part of your tour package.
Because you'll really see like how people would have been greeted by the home. Because as a master business,
And you get these, you get this when you sign up for your trolley for the day. You get 2 houses. Or we did, and we picked 2 house tours and 1 museum.
And depending on their reason for visiting the home would determine.
Now, the Davenport House is a very neat, of course, and restored to its as much originally as could be detected. It's not quite as fancy as the Andrew Lowell house that we toured in the early video, but it's very nice. This archway is very interesting. When they made these archways, it meant that everything this side of the archway, the front side, is open to people coming in. On the other side of the archway, that's private residence. You don't go back there if you're a visitor.
Made out of imported African marble, which again shows the importance of the Savannah Fort. When we get to the boys' room, you'll really see the differences in the way that they lived in this home. But for the time being, you'll notice that Cornelia, she had her own bedroom. She also would have been given this very tall feather bed, would have been very expensive.
This is our daughter's
Sheets,
bedroom.
blankets, and pillows, as well as mosquito netting, which would have been very important, particularly during the summers when they would have opened the windows for a breeze, because it is both a bedroom and it is upstairs. So it is a very, very private space. They didn't find the need to spend money on even wallpaper. But this room, which is also a bedroom and also upstairs, does have it again. And it was actually much more public than you might think. Not in a weird way. Now, Mrs. Davenport, she gave birth 10 times, and all 10 of those times when she would go into labor, all of the female neighbors of the community and the female enslaved workers of the home would come up to the room to help with the birth, as extra clothing storage or to hang laundry to dry if it was raining outside.
This is a boys' room.
Kind of like an extra use room almost. Now, this room is the boys' room, and hopefully now you can really get a sense of what I mean when I say that Cornelia and her brothers had very different life experiences growing up. Cornelia had her very own room, and the remaining 6 boys would have shared this one room.
All right, guys, stop number 15.
Jump back on the trolley.
Now, to the early 1800s. Not focused as a church, now that comes to the top of the square.
This is a hotel we had stayed at on a previous visit. And whenever one of these see a camera, they holler out paparazzi.
Over 1,500 songs. Nominated for 19 Academy Awards, he would win for those. The building over here, folks, to your left again, this building over here, constructed back in 1843. The building would have 3.
Now, we showed you in the last video a few shots of this church, St. John's. But this is the missing video that was missing at the time. And when we went in, they were finishing up a wedding. Military wedding, by the way. Beautiful church. From a church, we go to a museum. And again, we had a ticket for this that we bought with our trolley pass. Billie Holiday. This is the Prohibition Museum. This was an interesting display. See here, as the officers were breaking open the barrels of booze, residents would come out into the drain and fill their cups on whatever they had right out of the streets. And is it today? They will use kids in their demonstrations, exploiting, I believe.
Ruining lives for many centuries. Alcohol has done nothing but bring an untimely death to thousands of our fellow citizens.
That was a debate on alcohol. Prohibition times created more problems than it solved. This is a picture of a brewery and all the beer being poured right out the windows.
Hey, what are y'all doing back here?
That was a still in the woods. And there's a speakeasy. So we left Savannah, and if you remember from the first video, we went out to the lighthouse and the old fort. Oh, here's the lost footage from that particular trip. Stop. Now, if you go out here, Tabia, as I said, you can park in the parking lot of the lighthouse for free as long as you're going in the lighthouse. If you don't, you have to pay $7 to park in the parking lot across the street. I'd rather pay the $12 and be able to get in a lighthouse and park than parking for free versus paying the $7. So here's some of that fort. And as I had mentioned in the other video, on the other side of the fort is the beach. Well, it's getting late and it's about time we moseyed down the road. We'll see you next week as we continue this trip north. Have a good one.